The MCU was always a risk. After all, at the start, you had 4 different franchises coming together over 5 movies in 4 years, all for the cinematic circle of epicness. You know the circle. Oh, and of course, to defeat Loki once and for all, which I'm sure is gonna stick. But notice what I said there, over 5 movies in 4 years. Now, what else could that timetable apply to? Well, since you probably read the title of the video that you're watching, I'm sure you know the answer is Overwatch, but we've still got a ways to go. Think about it for a sec. Overwatch released on May 3rd, 2016. Now that's almost 3 years ago, but before the game was launched, unlike many other games, we actually got origin stories and previews of these characters, showing us who these people or Omnics are, how they fit into this world, and I guess how they play, which kind of important. But more importantly, we got the first 2 Overwatch cinematics, Recall and Alive, which focused on Winston and Widowmaker respectively. But we're gonna actually focus on Recall because that is how the Overwatch is called back to duty. Now, I know what you're thinking. Austin, you're definitely stretching it here. The Avengers were brought together by Nick Fury, not a sentient ape. But what were the circumstances that led to the Avengers being assembled? Oh, that's right, researching in a secluded bunker until being attacked by the primary antagonist, who's definitely going to be the biggest threat in the world, right on the quest for Marvel's first MacGuffin, which is a stepping stone to something much bigger. Now, we already start to see the similarities. For one, Winston is in Watchpoint Gibraltar, alone, doing research, when he's attacked by the biggest villain we know about in 2016, Reaper, who is trying to get his own MacGuffin-esque item, the Overwatch Registry, for a part of a much bigger plan.
He's going to have all agents' locations.
So at the very least, they're similar, but let's take a look what happens after Winston goes ape and Loki goes for a rip. The camera zooms into a slightly perturbed Nick Fury, who is left with a question from your favorite dead man, a Mr. Phil Coulson.
What do we do?
Which leads into the Avengers being assembled as there is a global security risk. Now, on the virtual side of things, Winston sees that the world needs Overwatch due to not only the second Omnic crisis, but the growing activities of Talon. So after Winston definitely defeats Reaper forever, he recalls the words of his space dad.
Always remember, never accept the world as it appears to be. Dare to see it for what it could be.
And then, well, recalls the agents of Overwatch. Like the Avengers, the Overwatch agents are scattered across the globe. And while the message reaches everybody with an antenna, they still have to come together, which is really the first third of the Avengers, the team coming together, the Avengers assembling. And that third is where Overwatch is right now. But this is also the fork in the road between the 2 universes, because when Overwatch launched, we only really knew a little bit about each character, based on map clues, interactions, and origin shorts released in the build-up for the game. So we had a rough idea of who these people are without truly getting the time to know them. Another difference between the CUs is that there are much more characters in the Overwatch universe than the MCU when they first assembled. And unlike our main Avengers, they didn't get an hour and a half for audiences to get to know them. Instead, Blizzard has been slowly releasing animated shorts, which fulfill the same purpose as the standalone Marvel movies, being to move the story forward, which slowly, very slowly, but surely it has been doing.
But I got a call. They're getting the band back together. They want me, but really, they need you.
And more importantly, giving players the chance to really get to know our favorite heroes and villains. And that's where the title of the video comes in, because while Marvel decided to start with one hero,
I am Iron Man.
and slowly expand their roster and connect the universe moving forward, what Blizzard elected to do is give us a ton of characters up front with a lore framework to build upon. Have Winston issue the recall and then build from there, filling in the history of the world as they go, with both more backstory through their archive events, cinematics, comics, things like that, while at the same time gradually inching forward with the different heroes, showing where they were when the recall was, I guess, called, so that the universe gets more and more dense, building to that moment when Overwatch does assemble.
Winston? Is that you, love? It's been too long.
Yes. Yes, it has.
And when they do come together, they're not going to have to waste time explaining the motives of these characters because we've slowly gotten to know them over the years following the release. It's the Marvel formula, just flip turned upside down. So while Blizzard is going about their assemble moment differently than Kevin Feige and those other rabble-rousers at Marvel, they're essentially building to that same moment when our heroes join forces to take on either the Omnics, Talon, or who knows, maybe even the other escaped apes from Horizon. The point is that while we don't know when the Overwatch agents will answer the call, or even what that means, whether it be a movie, a campaign, comic series, or a sequel, they're gonna get there. But not before the folks at Blizzard have built a strong narrative foundation, so that after they send their Loki packing, their second phase will have a solid foundation to stand on. So, just like we've been for the past decade, just be patient. After all, taking their time is just one lesson they've learned from the best.
Are you with me?
And that's it for me. I've been Austin Kennedy, the living Kennedy, because they haven't got me yet. If you liked the video, give me a like, and if you didn't, well, then I guess you shouldn't. If you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and, ring my bell, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, it's right next to the subscribe button, so you'll figure it out. Have a great day, guys, and thanks so much for watching.